Well, Jimmy, you haven't had a chance yet to catch up with you since you came back to the club. Talk about that in a while. But firstly, tonight's game against Met Police. Disappointing to go out of the competition, but up against an experienced side. Good learning curve, I guess, for the youngsters.
Yeah, I think that was it really. It was a learning curve for the team. I mean, most of them boys are first year scholars. They've never played men's football, so that was a good test. I mean, other than the 3 mistakes we made during the game, I mean, there wasn't a lot in the game in terms of open play, but it just showed that we was a bit naive in certain areas, and we made bad decisions. You look at, if you give teams 3 goals, you always got a mountain to climb. So I mean, look, it's about young players trying to learn the game, and I think they had a harsh lesson tonight.
And I think in some respects, I guess it's good for them to have a game like that, sort of a completely different type of opposition, I guess, from what they're used to normally in the EFL Youth Alliance.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, look, these boys, I mean, the ones that are not going to be here next year, they've got to aspire to be playing at places like, Met Police and, Ryman Premier level and that. And, today was a bit of a harsh reality to some of them, because, they're thinking that they're going to come out of Sutton United being full-time players, and it's a harsh reality for some of them. So they've got to step their games up a bit, 1 or 2, and to be able to make the level, this level they're going to be hopefully playing in for next year.
We were saying in the commentary 5 minutes before half time that with the conditions we could have got to half time at 1-0. We had a real chance possibly of getting back into it in the second half, so that second goal, particularly the way it came about, must have been particularly frustrating.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's why Oscar, I just said to him, you need to go into the first team and watch the defenders in the first team. They clear their lines, they get your teams up the pitch. I just said to him there, I said, look, why do teams clear their lines? They clear their lines because they want to get the ball away from their own goal, because they don't want to concede goals. But, they're just decision making. At the end of the day, he got caught in between. Do I play? Do I put my foot through it? And this is what these games are all about. They got to learn.
And even going into the last 20 minutes, still a chance. We'd had one knocked off the line, but then it really ran away from us in the last 20 minutes. I guess heads went down once it went to 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit of an upheaval really, because we were quite light on the ground ourselves, and obviously it would have been nice to have 1 or 2 experienced players to help them out, but obviously it's a bit hard for Matt and the first team, because obviously he's a bit light in numbers himself. But I mean, we made subs and we put in 3 or 4 lads from the college-based scheme. That's where we're at. We're light on numbers ourselves, but you can't make excuses. They competed. I wasn't expecting to get beat 5-0, but it is what it is.
And back to sort of the EFL Youth Alliance this weekend, away to Luton, and then home to Stevenage, I think, next Tuesday. Still planned at VBS, and it'd be good to get people down watching that one, because they're good games, the Youth Alliance games. Well, they really are.
Yeah, they are good games. I mean,
different type of game from tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're playing teams that are pretty much around their same sort of level, all making mistakes and all, getting punished, and it's a big gap. It's a big gulf between the Youth Alliance and Ryman Premier, for sure, but it's an even bigger gap between Ryman Premier to League 2, and that's what I say to our lot. You need to learn from tonight, and just shows you that if you probably are not playing Conference South level by the time you leave the academy, then you're going to struggle to get a pro contract at Sutton United, because the gulf there is even bigger. Yeah. So you really do have to, be a lot better.
And so it's the first time we've caught up with you since you came back. How's it felt to be back at where you felt you always called it home, and back with us now for a couple of months?
Yes, do you know what? It's been a bit of a whirlwind, really. I've come in and there's been a few things to try and settle in and sort out in the academy. But there's, it's lovely seeing some old faces still around the club, yourself included, Tony. But no, it's just great. It's just good people around the club. Bruce, AB, Tim, Phil, Will. The list is endless. The list is Graham Starnes. The list is endless, and they're just all good people that want to do well for this football club. And hopefully I can add to that and try and start recruiting and bringing some players through that we need, really.
What was it attracted you to the job when it became available?
Well, I was in recruitment for the last 5 or 6 years, and as much as I enjoyed it, I really missed the sort of being around the training ground, trying to develop players, and that's where I see my strength really, being a coach. So I really miss that side of it. But when the chance come about, I just thought it'd be nice to try and bring something back to Sutton. And I've been experienced now. I've been away from the club for a long time, and been at quite a few clubs and managed and coached at League Two level, and just felt as if I could add something to Matty and his team really. And what a fantastic job Matty's done at the club. I mean, since I obviously been away, I mean, they've all done their jobs. Doswell done it, but Matty's just taken it onto another level with Jason and obviously Andy and the team around them. They're just good people that really, I think Sutton are quite lucky to have them, and they're lucky to have Sutton. Really, it's a good match.
And looking for the rest of the season, from your point of view, from the academy side, what's the aim, both sort of this season and long term? What do you see as your main role now in with the academy?
I'm desperate to get players through into the system. Obviously, that's going to be my big remit, and I know the sort of player that Matty needs to recruit. So obviously, recruitment's going to be a bit. What's the word I'm looking at? I've got to be careful what I say here. A better. I would like to say, we'll recruit a bit better, and we get some players that can try and, want to play for this football club, and get know what this club's all about, and get players into the first team.
That's amazing. Well, Jimmy, it's 30 odd years ago I think I first spoke to you coming back on a train from Runcorn. And we're talking again. It's great to have you back at the club, and thanks for talking to us tonight.
Nice to be back.
Cheers,
Tony.
Jim.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.